Hey, everyone, we've got a serious situation brewing across the United States this week, and it's shaping up to be a major weather event with a lot of different hazards. We're looking at a huge storm system that's going to bring a wide variety of problems, significant severe weather, incredibly strong winds sweeping across large parts of the country, blizzard conditions for some areas, and a sharp drop in temperatures as we head into the weekend. There's a lot to cover here, so we're going to break it all down. What's happening right now, what's coming over the next few days, and how this storm could affect millions of people across the U.S. over the next week. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Let's start with what's already going on. Over the past 24 hours, we've had a large and pretty active storm system in the southeast. Right now, the center of that low pressure system is sitting over Mississippi, and it's been producing scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which have been severe at times. We've seen some gusty winds and heavy rain, but so far, the impacts have been fairly limited. That said, there's still a low-end tornado risk later this afternoon, particularly for eastern Florida. If you're in that region, you'll want to stay weather aware between around 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., just in case any of those storms start rotating. Meanwhile, up in the northern plains, there's a small Alberta clipper moving through, which is bringing light snowfall to northern Minnesota and parts of Canada. It's nothing too intense, but it's enough to create some slippery roads and reduced visibility in those areas. And if you're down in the southwest or southern plains, well, you're probably wondering what all the fuss is about because it's been bone dry there. But trust me, that's going to change in a big way as we move later in the week. Rain, storms, and possibly severe weather are on the way. One of the biggest concerns with this incoming storm system is the potential for significant severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has already upgraded parts of the mid-Mississippi River Valley to an enhanced risk of severe storms on Friday. That enhanced risk zone covers parts of Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Missouri, and Illinois. And it's something we're going to have to watch very closely. In this region, the main threats are going to be damaging straight-line winds, large hail, and the potential for strong tornadoes. Severe weather risk isn't just limited to the south. Either the slight risk area stretches all the way north into Wisconsin and eastern Iowa. It's pretty unusual to see severe weather potential this far north in the middle of March, which gives you an idea of just how powerful this system is shaping up to be. If you live in any of these areas, especially in the enhanced risk zone, you'll want to make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. Tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, these can pop up fast, and you won't always be near a TV or radio when they happen. Make sure your phone is set up to receive emergency alerts and have a weather radio on hand if possible. Also, take some time now to think about your tornado safety plan, where you would go and what you would do if a warning is issued. It's always better to be prepared ahead of time. By Saturday, the severe weather threat shifts a bit farther east. Areas like the Ohio Valley and parts of Dixie Alley will be at risk for damaging storms. There's another enhanced risk zone in place for parts of Mississippi and Alabama, where the combination of wind shear, instability, and moisture will create a very favorable environment for severe weather. Once again, damaging winds, large hail, and strong tornadoes are all on the table. So if you're in these areas, stay vigilant and keep an eye on the forecast. As we look toward the second half of the week, the ingredients for this massive storm really start coming together. The system currently over the southeast will continue moving eastward over the next couple of days, bringing more showers and storms along the Gulf Coast. The Alberta Clipper will keep pushing through Canada, bringing scattered snow showers, and we'll also see some rain developing in New England. But the real action kicks off as we head into late Wednesday and Thursday when the West Coast starts to get hit. Southern California is already starting to see some activity, and by Wednesday morning, we'll see widespread rain and mountain snow across the West Coast. The Sierra Nevada is going to get absolutely buried. We're talking about over 4 feet of snow in some spots between Wednesday and Saturday. At the same time, the lower elevations will see heavy rain, with most areas picking up 1 to 3 inches between Wednesday and Thursday. As we move into Thursday night and Friday, this storm system really starts to intensify. As it moves over the Rockies, the clash of warm and cold air will create an extremely strong low pressure system. The European model is showing this system dropping into the 970s in terms of millibars, which is very strong and a big red flag for a powerful storm. That kind of pressure drop is going to create widespread strong winds across the Great Plains with gusts between 40 and 65 mph. In some areas, we could even see wind gusts hitting 75 mph, and that's before the severe storms even get going. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Once the system pushes out into the plains on Friday, that's when we're really going to see the severe weather ramp up. Missouri, Arkansas, and the deep south are going to be right in the bullseye for dangerous storms. Wind shear is going to be off the charts in the lower Mississippi River Valley, and with high levels of moisture and instability in place, the stage will be set for significant severe weather. There's even the potential for a tornado outbreak in this region on Friday. It's not a sure thing yet, but it's definitely something we'll be watching closely. For the Midwest, the severe weather potential depends on how much moisture makes it that far north. If dew points stay in the low to mid 50s, we'll probably only see isolated severe storm. But if moisture surges north and we start seeing dew points in the 60s, the Midwest could be in for a serious tornado threat as well. By early Saturday, the storm pushes farther north, bringing blizzard conditions to the northern plains. At the same time, severe weather will fire up again in the southeast, with areas like Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia facing the risk of damaging storms and tornadoes. As we move into Sunday, the storm marches east with some potential for severe weather along the East Coast. Now, fast forward to Thursday afternoon, and things are going to start getting worse. Cold air is getting pulled in from the east, creating a dry, cold front and a warm front that's dragging that colder air down the west coast. This is causing more areas, especially at lower elevations, to switch from rain to snow. At first, it was just the higher altitudes that were getting snow, but now, as that cold air keeps pushing in, we're seeing snow all the way down to lower elevations. Coastal areas, though, will likely just get more rainfall, as is typical with these western storms. By Friday the 14th, we're really starting to see things ramp up. I'm watching a low pressure system with a pressure around 976 or 977 millibars, which isn't quite historic, but still pretty intense. Some models have even suggested it might dip into the 960s, which would definitely put it in the historic range. But let me be clear. It doesn't necessarily mean we'll see historic impacts. The pressure of the system doesn't always correlate directly with the intensity of the impact. I've seen weak systems cause more chaos than stronger ones, so we can't jump to conclusions. However, with this low pressure, those tightly packed lines we're seeing on the map are showing us some pretty strong winds, heavy snow, and possibly even blizzard conditions in places like Wyoming, Colorado, and New Mexico. But again, it's tough to say for sure. Then as we move into Friday night and into Saturday, things start to get even crazier. Thunderstorms and severe weather are going to start popping off, especially in the Midwest and into the deep south. Places like eastern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee are all at risk. Expect heavy thunderstorms overnight. And on top of that, any snow that does fall could come with intense winds, bringing the potential for blizzards in some areas. Yesterday, there was a bit of confusion because some people thought I was predicting blizzards in the eastern states. Let me set the record straight. I don't expect much snow or blizzard conditions in the east, so don't get hung up on the thumbnail or title. I always go over the details in the video, and that's where the full story is. Now, moving into Saturday afternoon, we'll see that strong low pressure system over eastern Colorado with freezing rain and snow moving across parts of the Midwest and northern plains. This is a perfect setup for intense snowstorms or blizzards in these areas, especially with such an intense low pressure system. The cold front is going to be stretching out, and it's moving fast, bringing warm air up north, especially into the Great Lakes and Northeast. By Saturday, we can expect thunderstorms to spread across a huge portion of the country. And as we head into the spring, these types of widespread thunderstorms are going to be more common, so keep an eye out. By Sunday the 16th, we'll see that low pressure weaken a bit, but that cold front is still going to stretch all the way from the Hudson Bay down to the Yucatan Peninsula. Expect strong thunderstorms, especially along the southeast coast, mid-Atlantic, and even parts of the northeast in Canada. A huge line of thunderstorms could really bring some action in these areas. And while this is still a bit far out, we'll keep watching closely as the storm progresses. After Sunday, things start to quiet down a little bit. But by Monday, March 17th, we'll be watching a new storm system coming in from the west. We're expecting more snow in the mountains and some rain along the coast. And as we move into Tuesday the 18th, things will be a bit quieter. There will still be some light showers in the mid-Atlantic and northeast, but nothing major. The southwest, however, will still be seeing continued snowfall and rainfall. By Wednesday the 19th, another system will be moving across the country, this time with a 996 millibar low. It's not as intense as some of the others we've seen, but it's still capable of creating major impacts with snow in the Rockies and plains and the potential for severe weather as that warm front pushes up from the southeast. This could set the stage for another intense round of thunderstorm. Looking at the bigger picture, the west is going to see plenty of snow, especially in the mountains. The east won't see much snow. But the Northeast and parts of the Mid-Atlantic could get some lighter snow, though this is far from guaranteed. By Thursday, March 20th, that low pressure system will have moved into Canada, but we could still see some leftover storms along the cold front, bringing more thunderstorms and even some snow in places like Ohio and Pennsylvania. So that's where we stand for now. It's a pretty active weather pattern coming up. And while we're still a bit far out from some of these events, the models are showing a pretty consistent trend of intense storms, especially in the West, and severe weather outbreaks across the Midwest and South. So we'll keep watching, and I'll update you with more details as we get closer. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of the updates. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.